Hey Novas Nation, your Omaha Supernovas are back in charging towards another pro volleyball title. Because of you, the CHI Health Center is the toughest place to play in all of professional volleyball, averaging nearly 13,000 fans per match. Be there Sunday, February 16th at 3 p.m. as the Supernovas take on the San Diego Mojo. Get your tickets now at the CHI box office or by visiting supernovas.com.
This episode is brought to you by MeUndies. Underwear drawers are like the Wild West. You never know what you're going to pull out or what shape it's in. So upgrade your collection with the buttery soft comfort of MeUndies. MeUndies' signature fabric is as soft as a warm hug from your favorite sweater. Plus, it's breathable and oh so comfy, making it ideal for all-day wear. Get 20% off your first order, plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/Spotify with code SPOTIFY. That's MeUndies.com/Spotify, code SPOTIFY.
WTL.
It's time!
WTL.
I think we got a show. Oh yeah, we got a show.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. And we got a banger, JaBron.
Oh, yeah.
I'm joined by JaBron, the Parlay Pounder.
You got it.
You had to make this one.
Yeah, of course.
You couldn't be in Kansas
the
City.
Super Bowl.
There we go. And we had to bring out, our secret weapon.
J.O.,
the
baby.
Big guns, J.O. Jeremy.
Yeah.
Bringing back the Budweiser commercials.
It's the Super Bowl.
It's the Super Bowl, baby.
Hey, now that Shane Gillis is on board with Bud Light, I'm on board, right?
Yeah,
There
me
you go.
too. Post Malone, Shane Gillis. I'm
Yep.
drinking Bud Light for the
There
game
we go.
for sure.
100%.
Everything's under the bridge. I'm back on board.
Yeah, back on board.
Anheuser, you did it.
You
And
did it.
Anheuser is back they've spent the most money of anybody
Yeah.
in the big game this year, so
Yep.
they are back as well.
Hey.
They figured it out.
They're supporting the
You
Super
need
Bowl.
the Talking Frogs and
Yeah.
Clydesdales,
Clydesdales.
all that stuff. That'll be
Bring,
fun.
bring them out. Bring
Yep.
them out.
Put Post Malone on one, you're going to be good to go.
So we are talking Super Bowl,
Yeah.
and that's going to consume everything. It is the wildest game on the planet
Biggest
as far
game.
as the betting. There's like over 1,000 lines that you can find to bet
Insane.
on in this one,
Insane.
and we'll get into some of those.
Yeah.
But I thought we would just start kind of easy here. We'll just kind of ease into this one and kind of talk some first half totals here.
Yeah.
Latest line I just saw was 23.5 is your over, under is your total, and Jeremy, we'll start with you because there's a case to be made really either way here.
Yeah, well, the beauty of the big game is that a lot of these players is their first time,
Yeah.
right? I mean, the Chiefs, obviously,
Yeah.
we know that they have history,
the Reds.
third time in a row, right? But there's nerves, okay?
big time
There
nerves.
is a history of teams coming out slow
Yeah.
because of the nerves,
Right.
because of the energy, because of the longer waits. Like,
For
this
sure.
is,
Yeah. Couple
routines
weeks.
are out of place,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
It would be easy to say that the under would be the way to go then
Yeah.
in that regard, because
Should
there
say
is
that.
some nerves. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess that's where I'm leaning at first, just because
You like the under there.
everybody's a little shaky when you start the football game.
Yeah, and we have seen it before where teams come out a little tight and they play it close to the vest. They want to see what the defense is going to give them.
Right.
JaBron, where are you at?
Well, the one thing that I really like about this line is that I like both of these offenses a lot, especially against these defenses. So I really do believe the over is where I would go, but I just probably want to see a good Super Bowl and a high-scoring Super Bowl. The thing that I really like, even not just about the over, but the spread in itself is -1 towards the Chiefs, correct, for the first half.
Yep.
The Eagles have scored the first touchdown each of their last 8 games, so they are start fast, run the ball, get that first drive going, get points on the board. The Eagles have won the first quarter in each of their last 5 games against a team that's had a winning record, so they win that every time, and they've won the first half in each of their last 12 games.
Yeah.
They
Holy
win
cow.
the first half.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs are, I think, the complete opposite. They just don't care
Right.
Right.
until the fourth quarter starts.
Right.
They care obviously, but they don't really turn it up until the second half of game. So I really like the Eagles' first half. I really think
they're a team that doesn't feel the moment. Like it isn't too big for them.
Well,
They've been there.
They were just here, a couple of years ago.
Just a couple of years ago, lost the Chiefs trying to revenge this, trying to revenge it. But it is kind of cool that we're seeing two teams that have been here have won Super Bowl recently. Mm-hmm. Chiefs obviously going for 3 in a row, but these are two teams that aren't scared of the moment. So I believe for that reason, the Eagles win the first half and that over hits.
I think I like the over too, and I think the Chiefs are going to help them get there. I think the Chiefs alone sitting at about a 10.5 right now, team total. I like the over on that because there's a couple different ways to get there. First off, is there anyone better in the game than Andy Reid with those scripted opening drives?
Definitely not.
And if
maybe the Eagles, but that's just like give the ball to Saquon and he's going to score.
Right.
That's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Give the ball to Mahomes and he's going to figure it out.
And if Worthy hits a big play or whatever, and let's say he gets a 50-yarder, well, now Andy Reid can go off script and save that script for the next drive. So,
correct.
And you're also playing in a dome, down in New Orleans. So you got Butker back.
You do.
So here we go. We can get there with a touchdown, a couple field goals, and I get that over team total for Kansas City. And everything you just said there with the Eagles, I believe in that too. And the Chiefs' defense have been on a decline. Statistically, they're still
show up when they need to.
Right.
Blitz packages when they need to.
Yep.
Don't show it all game until they really, really need it. And then Chris Jones is just kind of that type of player. He's like, okay, it's time to make money. It's sack time. So no, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I'm on the over. I love both the team overs in the first half, both at 10.5. I love both of them.
Well, it's kind of been the Chiefs all season. It's the big guys, the big names, the guys that are making the money step up when they have
the plays.
Right? It's not anything out there that's just over the top, but they make them enough when they have to.
Yeah, so you might be onto something with Philadelphia winning the first half because that's a plus money bet right now at a minus 1.5, plus 1.5 for the Eagles. And then 23.5. Have we talked you into the over then, Jeremy?
Absolutely not. I'm 100%.
That's good. But that's good you were not changing your mind.
It's funny, though, because when you look at the trends of the last 4 or 5 years, it has been under. There's one Super Bowl game that is the outlier, and it was Kansas City versus Philly. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I want to slim down just to the first quarter, Andy.
Okay, let's do it.
Really, with the Philadelphia Eagles, their over-unders under 3.5 points. I believe that they'll score a touchdown in the first quarter. So I am smacking that first quarter bet for the Philadelphia Eagles. I believe that they score on their first possession, and I don't think it's going to be a field goal.
Yeah, and they have just been a juggernaut running the football, and everyone knows what they're going to do, but they can't stop them.
They can't stop them. Even if it's not Saquon, they get within 5 yards. Yeah, you're not going to stop them.
Yeah, and we'll get into player props in a later segment. But that Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown looks pretty good, and the
Saquon
odds,
is too.
Well, Saquon is.
You have to bet it up to 2 or 3 if you want Saquon.
Right, and that's where I was going to go with it. Is his odds are where they're at, where they should be.
Correct.
And Jalen's right on his heels, so you're getting a lot better value there. Yeah. Do you like the Eagles going over there?
Yeah, I like the Eagles going over.
Yeah.
I mean, they're going to score a touchdown. I mean, they just have the, they've got the key players that are going to be involved in the game plan instantly that are going to overcome the Chiefs' defense. But I like the idea with the run, though.
Yeah.
If you can find the first play of the game, run or pass, run hits 4 out of the last 5 years, and this is a run-first offense, why wouldn't you make some early money quick?
Even if the Chiefs get the ball, it's probably going to be a run.
It's going to be a run,
It's probably going to be, Kareem or Pacheco, whichever way they go with it.
Yeah.
But, it's been real good to see the reemergence of A.J. Brown as well for the Philadelphia Eagles, because everybody's like, well, they're not going to win the Super Bowl if they don't get their number one receiver going. He's going.
Right.
Time to go. So, I just think they are clicking. Both offenses are just so good in this. It's going to be a lot of points, I believe.
Yeah, and you can also get into some pretty zany ones like first down by who, and flip a coin, right? Is it who wins the coin toss, which we'll get into that.
Oh, yeah.
But is it going to be Jalen Hurts on a quarterback keeper?
Yeah.
Third and short, or are they going to hand the ball off? Is it going to be Saquon in a big run, first play of the game?
There is books out there that have a plus 1,400 for Jalen Hurts converting that first down.
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. How many guys in the box going after Saquon?
Yeah.
Maybe a tush push.
Or maybe even just a little end around.
Why
RPO.
wouldn't he be the first down?
Yeah, why wouldn't he?
To me, he's the first option. There's good money to be made.
But again, You saw it last week against the Commanders. Just hand it to Saquon. He'll take it for
Right.
80 yards. Doesn't matter. Done it 2 weeks in a row in the playoffs. But you guys talking about first touchdown or whatever. On one of the books that we follow or whatever, it's called the Big Four Bet. And will it be the Big Four that score the first touchdown? They're talking Saquon. They're talking Kareem Hunt. They're talking Travis Kelce. They're talking A.J. Brown. It's a plus money bet right now that one of those 4 guys cross the line, and I think that's a pretty dang good bet. But the wrench in there is Jalen Hurts and Patty.
Yeah.
Patty gets close to the, now he's going in. He is on a mission, Patrick Mahomes, to win this Super Bowl.
Yep.
He gets close. You saw it in the AFC Championship, taking 2 in himself.
Yeah.
If he gets close, he's going to take it in. So I love Patrick Mahomes anytime touchdown as well. That we'll get to.
Yeah. Well, and that's a fantastic point. And not only has his rushing yards gone up last 2 games, playoff games, but his designed runs have tremendously gone up. And he did not run the ball at all, like you guys were talking about.
It's crunch time.
Man, you brought up just the most amazing point, because I've been looking at Mahomes and the Chiefs kind of as a season like whole.
Yeah.
And I haven't been impressed. They're like
Yeah.
they're in the Super Bowl.
They lost 2 games, idiots.
Yeah. But when you watch the game, like they don't
Forfeited
look,
1.
Yeah.
So you start looking at Mahomes in the playoffs, it does look like it matters more this year, than really anybody.
Pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
It's his legacy game. It's
Yeah.
literally, this could put him on the level of, probably past Montana and right below Tom Brady. Or maybe even, with recency bias, people are going to call him the GOAT no matter what.
Yep.
Just, even if he probably loses this, he's in the conversation.
He's in it.
But if he wins this, he is literally, there's only one conversation you can have, and it's Tom Brady.
I mean, he would obviously he'd be better than Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman almost won 3 in a row, but he couldn't do it. He just couldn't quite do it.
He's almost as good as Troy Aikman. That was the point that I was going to get to.
I knew I could tell where you were getting at with the three-peat talk and comparing quarterbacks.
But no, I believe that is going to be a not so sought after bet. People aren't looking at that right now, but I believe it gets closer to Sunday. People are going to be like, oh, yeah. That guy's going in the end zone for sure.
Yeah. I do think some Patrick Mahomes prop bets will probably be going through the roof Sunday morning, no doubt about it.
I agree.
All righty, well, let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Stock and Rod Company, an outdoor lifestyle brand for those seeking adventure. Whether it's hunting, fishing, hiking, they got you covered. Visit stockandrod.com to get your wild game on. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Upgrade your business with Shopify, home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, meaning fewer carts going abandoned and more sales going cha-ching. So if you're into growing your business, get a commerce platform that's ready to sell wherever your customers are. Visit shopify.com to upgrade your selling today.
WTL.
Gentlemen, which brings me to my next point. Don't smoke crack.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
JaBron.
Oh, the Parlay Pounder, and we got the J.O.
J.O., baby.
Jeremy's back in the
Thanks
house.
for having
Let's go.
me.
Well, we had to. I mean, this is Super Bowl.
Super Bowl.
We can't hold anything back. We got to get into it.
Yep.
And this might be the most crucial segment we do.
It is.
All season, all NFL, college football.
Any season ever.
Any season ever. This is when we get into the props that everybody's talking about, Gatorade, coin toss, and all those things. But I want to start with some big names.
Yeah.
I want to get a little sizzle here. So, national anthem.
Yes.
A common bet is the length, but I just found a line here. Will Taylor Swift be shown during the national anthem?
Oh, yeah.
Is that a plus 350? Yes.
Plus
you're getting
350?
plus
money.
You're getting plus money. There's no way the NFL
Does
can.
she get there before the anthem is the whole thing?
Okay.
Does she
fair.
walk in
she
before
walks
that?
in after it? No
Yeah.
way. She's got to be standing there with her hand over her heart.
Taking a
And
knee.
no, we're so over that.
Yeah.
America's back, baby.
America's back.
I like the plus
I love
money.
that bet. That is a good one,
Yeah,
Andy. Way to suss that out.
Yeah, I like the plus money here.
I mean, she's got to be front and center as soon as the actual broadcast starts, which would be during the songs. I mean, and
she might even cry.
She might.
Yeah,
that actually.
Well, that was going to be. That was going to be mine, Andy.
Let's get there.
Will a player or coach cry during the national anthem?
Yes.
It's a minus 1,000 for yes.
What?
Minus 1,000.
Because it's a good.
Somebody's going to do it.
Yeah,
someone's.
I was like, these are the two hardest teams in the league, and they've been there before. They don't care about the national anthem.
Sirianni's like an all-time meme crying.
I know, but they've been here before. I don't think anybody's going to cry. Plus 520. Nobody cries.
You got 106 players to go through.
They're only going to show 4. They're only going to show 4. But it's going to be Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Saquon, Hurts, back to Mahomes, back to Kelce, back to Hurts, back to Saquon. So maybe Andy Reid and Taylor Swift in between that.
Well, yeah, this is old hat for Andy Reid. So what's the plus money on that?
520. Sirianni's going to cry. I'm just hoping they don't show Sirianni.
They don't have to show him. Okay,
Yeah.
He's going to cry because he knows if they lose, he's getting fired. Like he knows his job.
It's kind of Ryan Day. Just how it was. You win the national championship or you're fired, man.
Yeah, we can't take this.
You can't take this losing 1 or 2 games a year. This is terrible.
Yeah, almost lost to Washington.
The Super Bowl, there's marketing money to get made from these players crying during the national anthem.
Right.
So somebody will 100%.
Yeah, minus 1,000 is just too bad to go against. But I'm just saying, like, come on. You've been to this. Everybody's been to the Super Bowl here. Don't worry about it.
Get over it.
You're right. You're right. I do love the Taylor Swift bet a lot better than the one I bring up.
Oh yeah, that plus money, and the broadcast can't help themselves. Oh, there she is. We got to get on her. Got to get on her.
One tidbit that I was going to share with you guys from the AFC Championship: we never saw her once on the jumbotron the entire game.
Wow.
So the Chiefs have kind of
they get it.
They moved on.
Travis probably like, hey man, like don't it's football still.
They need more Jackson. More Jackson Mahomes, please.
Did they play her music at all?
No, no way. That's not going over the airwaves either. It's Chiefs Kingdom, but no. So I did think that was pretty wild because we were saying she's going to be up there the entire time, and it really wasn't. I didn't watch the TV broadcast. Was she on there quite a bit?
Oh yeah,
yes.
yeah.
A fair amount. It wasn't too much. I mean, it's fair to say if you're watching the game on TV, she is somewhat of a mascot for the Chiefs.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's
she is
okay
massive.
to say it.
And she is massive. Like they showed Jack Nicholson. Next
the
Lakers games, and, whatever.
Yeah.
So it is a thing. The one that I kind of want to go into, Andy, is just. I know people are going to be like, quit talking about Taylor Swift, but we have to talk about this.
Have to.
If the Chiefs win, there's a big thing going around that Travis Kelce is going to propose to Taylor Swift. And this is on every book, anywhere from plus 1,000 all the way down to plus 750.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to, put it saying he won't worry about that, but if this could be Travis's last game ever, he could retire if they win the Super Bowl. What way do you stay in the media? This is a huge thing. And I don't think either of them would, be against doing it.
That line has moved actually because I put it out on a poll on WTL's Twitter account a couple days ago, and it was at plus 800 for a yes, and it's now plus 750. For that, yes. So
I bought in that it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
And because there's too much money to be made from the moment
for both of them.
Yeah. And for money to be made post, the proposal.
Yeah, no.
And
it would just be a picture for them for the rest of their lives on anything that they do ever.
God, I hope she shuts them down.
Says no.
I wish the best for everybody, but wouldn't that be something?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Let me think about it.
He does ask and she says no?
Yeah, she says, let me think about it.
That has to be huge props.
There is actually a prop on DraftKings. There's a Swiftie special.
Yeah.
Where you get it's the shake it off prop where the Eagles score first, but the Chiefs end up winning.
Yep.
So something you can maybe put together with your proposal.
I like that
if
bet
you want
so far.
Swifties are going to get after some of their betting habits there. But plus 300.
I like that. So. I really do like that because I do believe the Philadelphia Eagles score first. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs win the game. So that is kind of the way that I am on the Swiftie board there.
You're a Swiftie there.
Many bets for the Swifties.
Well, let's talk about a classic, and that being the Gatorade color. I'm seeing purples leading the way at a plus 100.
And that is insane to me.
Red is at a plus 1100.
Yeah.
Red
Well,
slash.
just throw it on red.
Yeah, red is where it's at.
Throw it on red. Andy Reid's going to be one of, and even if you're looking at it the other way, the Eagles are going to want to troll the Chiefs by throwing red Gatorade on Sirianni.
Oh, yeah, so you can get there more than one way.
You can get there more than one way.
Okay.
I just believe for your, bang for your buck.
Would Philadelphia really do that, though?
Oh, yeah.
They're not
They're
that
the worst
petty.
people in the entire world.
They're not petty.
They're the worst people in the entire world. Taylor Swift's from Philadelphia.
That's a good point.
No, I really like that, Andy.
Yeah.
Plus 1,100. That's all the way down to plus 750 on some books. But a really good one that people don't look at enough in this, I believe, is water or it's clear Gatorade. And that's at a plus 1,000 everywhere as well. So I believe that's a good way to sprinkle it on. I mean, I love purple. Purple's my favorite color, but at a plus 200, that's just not enough value for me to put some money on for, something that is a game of chance.
I've always liked it, on this particular bet is what flavor do I think as a retailer, somebody who sells Gatorade, which one sells the most
Blue.
and which one is more likely? And it's blue or then it's orange. So
blue and orange.
I think there's great value there. It's $6.50 for blue or orange,
Very
in
good.
the 400 range. I mean, why not go there, throw a little money there and see what happens?
Orange is laced throughout the logo, the Super Bowl logo this year.
If it was Peyton Manning, orange would be at a minus 5,000.
Yes, it would.
So you guys know I'm a Chicago Bear fan, and so I got to work a Chicago Bear angle here.
There you go.
And this is an ode to the 85 Bears and Refrigerator Perry.
Oh.
Will a 300-plus pounder score a touchdown? This is at a plus 2,500.
Jeez. Who could it be?
Chris Jones. We've seen him play some offensive snaps. Jordan Davis.
And it doesn't have to be on offense. It could be
Any-
fumble
just-
recovery,
just
all
a
that kind of stuff.
300-pounder score a touchdown.
Scores a touchdown.
There's a 300-pound-plus player score a touchdown.
And what is it at?
It's at a plus 2,500.
Man,
I don't
that's
hate it.
enticing.
One?
Yeah, I don't hate it either.
Yeah, I know.
$10?
Right.
I don't hate that for $10.
Right?
But is Andy
Return
Reid,
$250 on it.
is he known for those types of plays?
He's known for being over 350 pounds.
Yeah, he's not scoring.
He is literally known for that.
No, but
Incredible.
like you said, that's a once again. There's more ways to get there than just a trick play like a I have to report eligible. At the goal line or whatever.
But
They're going to get
Andy
creative.
Reid does do creative plays, and Philadelphia obviously has a track record of running crazy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, especially the Super Bowl. So no, I don't hate that. $10.
Philly's
that's
special.
That's kind of one of my fun. That's a fun one to
Yeah.
think about.
Yeah.
So I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
I like that. So we haven't talked about the national anthem.
No,
right?
not the length.
Not the length, and I think it's important to look at because there's actual data to back this up. And,
back the data.
we're at 120 and a half seconds, right, on the national anthem. That's where the line's at. Now, the last 4 Super Bowls, it's gone over. Okay, so over's the play, but only 2 of the last 4 have actually hit over on what our line is this year.
Yes.
That's what's important to look at.
They're
up in it. Yes.
And Stapleton was a lock. That guy talks so slow, takes pauses, all that kind of stuff. I just don't know anything about John Baptiste.
Now, he is a true musician where he
he's a pianist
from a baby boy. Yes,
He's a pianist.
has been grown to be the best musician in the world. He's had all the education. He's not a kid that just found a guitar and learned how to play in his bedroom.
Yeah,
I mean, he
classically
is
trained.
classically trained. I believe that plays into the under crowd.
Yeah.
And with the fact
really?
that they're raising the number really helps in
He
that
wants
regard.
to get in,
Yeah.
play the right song, get out.
Correct.
I just pulled it up, Jeremy. It's moved up to 121 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, my.
Yeah. So
And I think this
that's
recency bias, I think you found a little bit of a nugget there. I love that.
The under.
That under. This isn't Chris Stapleton or Lady Gaga or somebody out there for their own vein or anything like that. This guy wants to play the right song, play the right notes, and get the heck out of there.
Absolutely. He's a professional.
He's a professional.
He's a professional. He's going to soak up the moment for what it is, and then
He
he'll
doesn't
move on.
even know the camera's there.
He will.
Or the stopwatch has started. He doesn't even know.
I love it.
And that is what I see this too. Like everyone's thinking his vocals are going to be a little quicker, especially than Chris Stapleton.
There you go.
And he's not up there with his guitar, just
Yep.
strumming along. Do you have another one like that? That was a good one.
That's what I think you really need to go back to that Taylor Swift "Shake It
Okay.
Off" promo. I mean, that one is absolute
Yeah.
gold.
Yeah, and it's going to get a lot of action with a fun name like that.
Yeah.
People can't resist. They got to get on it.
They really can't. And I'm going to go with another person for my last one, another person of Travis's family. And this is, what team will Jason Kelce wear on Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, boy.
Legendary Philadelphia Eagle, brought him a championship, did the whole Mardi Gras thing, speech. Philadelphia Eagles are minus 150 right now. No jersey or team logo is at a plus 200. Okay. And Kansas City Chiefs all the way up at plus 450. I believe this is a good spot to throw just a $10 bet or a $20 bet on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Really?
When you have him under podcasts and everything saying he loves to cheer for his brother. He loves his brother. Yep. He loves it more than
his brother.
Anything. So I get it that he's a Philadelphia Eagle legend, but this is family.
Mm-hmm. He's a family first guy.
This is his actual family, and you could tell, even though he was sad about losing the Super Bowl to his brother.
Yeah,
it really didn't cut him that deep because his brother won the Super Bowl.
No, there's a clip where he's telling his daughter,
it's
hey,
okay,
you lost. And he goes, all right. Yeah.
I think he will be rocking an 87 jersey during this broadcast.
What if it's an 87 jersey of the Eagles?
He could do what their mom did all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Wear the half jersey.
Split. That'd be hilarious.
The bet is void if that happens.
Yeah. Oh, man, I don't know. He's got such a good thing going there. He married a Philly gal. I don't know if she'd let him.
She won't wear it.
She won't do it.
Yeah, I don't know if she'd let him do it, though.
Oh,
I like the plus 200 neutral.
Okay.
Like, he doesn't.
Maybe he just wears a suit.
Toes the line right down the middle.
Or maybe he doesn't wear a shirt at all.
He might not
to do that as well.
That should be on
there. Bare chested. But no, I'm going to throw a little bit on that Kansas City Chief, even if he's just wearing a beanie or whatever. Yeah, I think that's the way to go.
Hey, I'm not going to argue too much on that one. I'm not. I get it. Blood's thicker than water.
Those are fun.
Well, let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is Underdog Fantasy and the Underdog app. Just pick higher or lower on your favorite player's key stats. Get it right, and you could win up to 1,000 times your entry fee. Download the Underdog app today. New customers could get up to $1,000 in bonus credits instantly. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
All right, Brain. You don't like me and I don't like you. But let's just do this and I can get back to killing you with beer.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. Where's the Line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
JaBron.
Oh, the parlay.
What's up?
Hey, we already gave Anheuser-Busch a little bit of love. Give him some more.
Give him some more.
Hey, if you're going to make Super Bowl commercials great again,
we're all for it.
Yeah, I'm on board. I thought Shane Gillis's first run at a Bud Light commercial was pretty funny. So
pretty
awesome.
dang good.
They're memorable. You laugh. They're memorable.
Yeah,
I'm here for it.
They got the right people.
And that is Jeremy Odem for everyone out there.
Yeah.
He's rejoining
Here
the
for
show.
the big game, baby.
Hanging in there, feeling good?
Oh, yeah.
Well, you should, because we're talking player props here. We've danced around it a little bit. We talked some game props on first half stuff, but let's get into some of these fun ones because, man, there has been a lot of movement since these lines have opened up. JaBron, I know you have a couple that you're looking at over there. Where do you want to start?
Well, I mean, I think we probably should just start with Patrick Mahomes. He has just so many lines out there. I mean, he's the most famous person in the world.
Patrick Mahomes, he's the Chiefs quarterback?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
He has so many props going towards his way right now, and a lot of books that I'm seeing, they just have a couple that I really want to touch on that I think can be real good money makers for people.
Yeah.
My first one I want to talk about is over 2.5 passing touchdowns is at a plus 200 right now. I believe that is very good value for what Patrick Mahomes brings to the table.
Yeah.
He is going to, you know that he's going to find somebody for, touchdowns. And for him in the realm to have 3 touchdowns in the Super Bowl is not that crazy of a fact. At plus 200, I believe that's very, very good. The other one I want to talk about with Patrick Mahomes is at plus 270 for him to have a rushing or receiving touchdown. It's plus 270 here, people. You can put whatever you want to put on it, on it. But that's $25 to win $70 pretty much.
No, I like that because his design runs have gone up quite a bit throughout the playoffs here. I mean, he didn't run the ball at all for touchdowns. And if you want to get into interception type stuff too, he hasn't thrown a pick. And I was hard on him the first 8 weeks of the season. I think he had a ratio of like basically 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Like he had like 8 touchdowns
Just
to 10 picks at one point in time. And then he hasn't thrown a pick since like week 8 or something.
Correct.
It was the worst stretch of his career.
Yeah.
On the ratio.
Now it's the best.
So anything Mahomes, I'm probably leaning towards the over. I'll say that right now.
I'm not saying that he's going to do these things or whatever. I just love the value in the bets so much. For you look at the end of the game with Mahomes with 4 touchdowns, you'd be like, that makes sense. That makes sense. We're talking 3 right now, and we're talking for him to get 1 on the ground for plus 270. I believe that's a very good value bet.
Yeah, big players and big moments, they come through.
Yeah.
J.O., where do you want to go?
Speaking of big players and big moments.
Let's go.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got a good one for you guys. Talk about plus money. How about a bet that has happened before and has gotten you plus 710?
Plus 710.
Plus 710. This is Jalen Hurts to have over 300 passing yards. Okay.
Oh, boy.
Think about this. The defense is going to want to contain Saquon Barkley.
They're going to stack the box.
And then Jalen's going to get his running the ball a little bit. He does that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to happen. He also has A.J. Brown out there who's going to want to take advantage of the big moment. I believe Jalen Hurts is going to take advantage of the defense and have the air attack. Now, you're going to go, why would he do that? Well, he did it 2 years ago against the Chiefs in this very game.
Yeah.
So there is precedent that this could happen.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah. I mean, and he always does have really good weapons. He has Devonta Smith, Heisman Trophy winner, Dallas Goedert, and like you said, A.J. Brown. Saquon is no slouch catching the ball either. So, there's definitely a route that happens, and they still lose the game or still win the game. All this stuff could happen, and it doesn't matter who wins the game.
That might happen out of necessity. Because Kansas City might just have to roll the dice and go one-on-one on the outside, and boy, you don't want to do that with A.J. Brown.
You can't.
You don't even like to do that with Devontae Smith either.
But you can't not load up against Saquon.
Right.
Because he's burned the last 3 playoff teams that have tried.
Yeah, and I also saw a stat where A.J. Brown just shreds defenses that like to line up like the Chiefs do.
For sure.
And he's going to have those one-on-one opportunities.
He's going to.
He's going to have to. So
the Chiefs pass rush is a huge thing in this game, obviously.
I kind of like that, but man, that is a lot of yards. And I know he's done it before. I know he's done it before.
But like we're saying, what we're saying on these are kind of like crazy bets or whatever, but you don't have to put a lot of money on these to see a good return. Yeah. So you're saying that's plus 710?
Plus 710. There's
put
incredible value.
You win $70.
Exactly.
That's, $20. You double that. One plus money one that I have down for Saquon, and I think it's a lock, is at a plus 130 right now. So not huge value, but it's his longest rush being over 25 yards. I think he will smack that, if not on the first play of the game, within the first 3 drives of the game.
Yeah, you're wrong. The Chiefs' defense don't allow big plays. So the number 1 defense in the league, not giving up the big play. And who do you think they're going to focus on? I fully believe that Saquon's going to get his.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But the Chiefs are going to do their best to contain him, and they've done it all. I get it. I have enough faith in
these 3 playoff teams that have tried to do this exact same thing that we're talking about. Let him go for 80, 80, and 60. He's going to go for 25 yards.
Okay, all right.
There was one moment that happened in this year that will make your bet guaranteed.
Yeah.
And it was the phone call that happened in the offseason between the Giants GM to Saquon Barkley that we've seen over and over again.
Like he's going to be any good.
Right. I mean, that motivation right there. We've seen it in his eyes.
God, Giants are a dumpster.
As far as a big play goes, I got one for you.
Okay.
Travis Kelce, longest reception, over 19.5 yards. I love it. He did that anyway, 10 out of 18 games this season.
Yeah.
And let's
plus
just
money on that?
And let's just be honest. This is the playoffs.
Yeah.
This could be his last game.
Could be.
And it just doesn't matter. Even when he wasn't playing well in the regular season, he still tallied 10 of those big plays throughout the season.
He's still there. And I'm going to piggyback on yours, Andy, that my last plus money bet that I think there's a lot of value on is Travis Kelce over 100 receiving yards.
Wow.
It's at a plus 330.
Okay.
A plus 330. That means if you're putting $25 on this, you're receiving somewhere between $85 to $80. I just believe that it's not out of the realm of possibility that he has 12 catches for 100, 15
not
yards.
at all.
That's
Not
why
at
I'm
all.
saying that I think the value for this play is just right there where you want it. Plus 330. Throw $100 on this, and you're walking out of the Super Bowl feeling pretty good about yourself.
Yeah, no doubt.
With the same idea of the defense is going to contain Saquon Barkley, I believe the Eagles' defense is going to contain Travis Kelce.
You're going to have to try.
Okay? Yeah, and which will leave Noah Gray available.
Oh, the Gray man.
The Super Bowl always creates stars. Guys you've never heard of, or maybe you don't hear a lot of, right?
Ryan.
Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions, plus 110, and it goes up from there. When you do 3+, it's plus 300, 4+, plus 900. Just work the ladder there and what you think he's going to actually be a part of. But then, and then you look for in the end zone. He scores 1 touchdown, plus 500.
Yeah.
Noah Gray could be a guy that could make you a little money.
Yeah, he could.
Definitely could.
I've been dogging this guy the past few weeks because that's what I do when I get burned on a prop bet. But DeAndre Hopkins, his line, there's every line has a number.
Yes.
Every bet has a number. His total yardage has moved all the way down to 10.5 yards. Yeah. It started at like 13.5.
It's just one catch.
And I really think Andy Reid's going to, he coaxed him over. He brought him over.
He needs to get him a catch. He needs to get him his moment.
I think he's going to get that. I think he's going to get a 10-yard, 8-yard reception on the first drive of the game. I think that scripted drive, and what it does is it sets up one more thing for this defense to think about. Yes, he's our 6th, maybe even 7th option.
Yeah.
But if he gets that 10-yard reception on the very opening drive,
it's happening.
Throws. I'm starting to come around. When it was at 13.5, I hated it. I'm like, I don't see him. He's not going to do it. But man, it's all the way down to 10.5 right now. D-Hop might make a believer out of me by kickoff.
Yeah, no, that's a tough one, Andy, because everybody's on either one of that. In the way that you look at the Chiefs, the only people that you can really depend on to be, at their best is Travis Kelce and
Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes, because the backfield's split right now. You don't know who's going to start the game. Kareem Hunt, his over-under on yards right now is 45.5. Isaiah Pacheco, the leading rusher in the past 2 Super Bowls, is all the way down to 20.5 yards. You cannot tell me that this is not a surefire thing.
That is tanking. That was just at 23.5 earlier.
20.5 yards for Isaiah Pacheco. I say go the over. I think he's going to take over in the Super Bowl as the Kansas City Chiefs lead rusher.
Yeah.
So
I catch some resistance there. Do you like Kareem Hunt in this spot, Jeremy?
But Pacheco, he was a guy going into last year's Super Bowl was kind of forgotten.
Yeah, of course.
And then he brought the energy, and it was like, holy cow, he's a difference maker.
That's what
in this
I'm
game.
saying. It's like he could get one run that he just shows the pop.
Yep.
And it's over from there.
Yeah.
Kareem had a huge AFC championship.
17 carries.
Huge AFC championship game. That's why I think they might just roll the dice and go, okay, you guys have been playing for Hunt this whole entire week. Give the young kid a shot to break one.
Let me throw another one at you. Xavier Worthy, we're talking rushing, over 5.5 yards rushing. I think he gets it.
I like it. I like it.
Just how creative the Chiefs' offense are. He's been averaging, 2.5 carries per game.
You got to get him the ball somehow. The guy's so fast.
And once again, that could be that opening drive just where they're throwing everything out there, just giving Philadelphia something to look at those first 2 drives. I think 5.5 yards for Xavier Worthy on the ground is very achievable.
Yeah, that early script is meant to get everybody kind of involved, and you don't know who is going to be the primary, and that would be his time. Why not?
The time.
Yeah, and if Pacheco fumbles or the exchanges fumbled between him and Mahomes, he might not get that 20 yards.
You're not getting it back.
We've seen that from Andy Reid a couple of times.
Yeah.
So, J.O., you got another one for us?
Yeah, we've got the kicker. The Super Bowl.
I love it.
Yep.
The Super Bowl is about kickers at times, right? In big, important, stressful moments, Harrison Butker over 7.5 points.
Boom.
If you think the game is going to be close, if you think the game is going to hit under, he's going to nail that in a heartbeat, right? Minus 115 there.
And if it goes over, he's getting a point every time the Chiefs score. There's a lot of ways to get to it for Harrison.
Yeah.
I love that you said that because I'm putting Harrison in my underdog parlay at the end of the segment.
Well, let's go right there. I also like Butker getting there. Like you said, there's a many different paths to get there. And if you're thinking that Philadelphia might get out to that early lead, and that moving the ball is going to be more difficult than usual, which they do have a top 5 defense in every statistical category.
They're awesome.
Does Philadelphia? I think the Chiefs are going to take their 3 points early.
Oh, they're going to take it any time that they can. That's not the fourth quarter. They are going to kick a field goal.
All right. Well, let's hear that.
What leads into my underdog parlay. Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals. I believe this is a lock. He's going to kick 2 field goals for sure. He's going to drain them both. He'll probably have 3 or 4, actually, at the end of the day. My second leg is I'm going high on Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown. That is my second leg. And then Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown, rushing or receiving.
Yep.
It's just going to happen. They're going to get within the 5-yard line, and they're going to push him across the goal line.
He's a vulture.
It's what's going to happen. Harrison Butker over 1.5 field goals. Travis Kelce, anytime touchdown. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. $25 to win $125.
There you go. I like that. Jeremy?
You love that return.
That's the thing. The Super Bowl's about, fun bets here and there, sprinkle, but you just gave us something you would bet on every single week of the NFL season.
Every single time.
Yep.
Those guys are going to get in the end zone. It's going to be a lot of fun, but that is my safe parlay for the week.
That's a
Underdog, baby.
That's a 3-leg lock.
That is a 3-leg lock.
Let's take a minute to recognize one of our fabulous partners, and that is the Nebraska Brewing Company. World class in every glass. Don't go anywhere. This is WTL.
WTL.
Capitalism is the only way, Leslie. It moves our country forward. It's what makes America great, and England okay, and France terrible.
WTL.
And welcome back, everybody, to WTL. You know what that stands for. Where's the line? Nebraska's first and only sports betting show. I'm your host, Andy Classen, joined by
JaBron.
the Parlay Pounder.
You got it. We're back.
And we got the J.O. Jeremy?
Man, I'm feeling like full of hot dogs and pizza.
That's how we do it.
Chicken wings at the
Chicken wings.
Super Bowl, baby.
Super
I'm
Bowl,
ready.
baby.
All right. Real quick, your podcast, it's getting big. You're ranked week in and week out. I mean, the power rankings, like NFL, you're like number 1 spot now.
Yeah, Laugh With Me podcast. We are cruising right along, man. Like, this is pretty cool. Top 200 comedy charts on iTunes. Nice. And we're in the midst of a big season 3. So, it's been awesome.
Sweet.
Love that.
Yeah, so check it out. If you haven't seen or been on there yet, give it a subscribe, a sub. Give it a sub.
Give it a sub.
Give it a sub. All right, well, we were talking player props. Let's go around the horn one more time and get into everyone's favorite because there's so many things going on, so many plays to be had here. JaBron, let's start with you.
Yeah, and I'm going to, when we're talking about these, I want them to be some big,
payoffs.
Some big payoffs.
Money
I'm
payoffs.
not throwing a lot of money on these, but I think they're just really good things to keep in the back of your head. If one of these hits, you have a good day.
Yeah.
So the thing that I'm going to put my, $25 to $10 to $25 on, I believe it's going to be Travis Kelce having 2 touchdowns in this game, and that is at a plus 600 right now. And I believe that is just really good odds for somebody that is going to, I believe, get into the end zone and be a focal point for the Kansas City Chiefs. I get that everybody says, well, the eyes are on Kelce the entire time. Yep. This guy's the leading frickin' receiver in the playoffs of the entire NFL. This guy's better than Jerry frickin' Rice.
He does. Statistically. Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
Don't want to start any fights.
That's what I just love that one plus 600. You never out of this bet no matter what with Kelce.
Nope. And plus, when he gets down around the goal line, he goes off script, and Mahomes just knows where he's going to be.
Yep.
I think that's a clever play there.
First you came for Troy Aikman, and now Jerry Rice.
Yeah.
But, no, I like Kelce as well, and this is something that if we think that this is going to be the biggest night of his life, and we've talked about what the things could happen after the game, during the game.
Yep.
If he gets 1 catch, 1 reception per quarter, plus 175.
Ooh,
so
that.
if he's a guy that is going to be very active and a big part of a Chiefs win, I got 100% see that happen.
Yeah, I love that. That's 4 catches, 1 in every quarter. Obviously, they have to possess the ball, but. There's no reason that shouldn't hit, and every drive they're going to be looking his way, and he's going to be amped up as well.
Yeah, especially if you think if this is retirement game.
This could be.
He's going to put it all out there.
He could walk off.
Very, very well could. We haven't done any defensive props yet.
Yeah.
And I might just put this in my back pocket for a parlay, work it in there to a 3 or 4, whatever legger. But Jaden Hicks, the draft pick rookie for the Chiefs, he has quietly become the starter for all intents and purposes at safety.
Yep.
Played over 70% or near 70% of the snaps last couple of games here in the playoffs.
Correct.
And his total tackles made is only at 3.5. has Saquon Barkley ever like broke a tackle and gotten to the second level? You know,
yes. I think that's a yes.
And even if you load the box up, that's going to put him right in the mix, and he's playing all these snaps. And the Chiefs have done this where at the beginning of the year, these type of players, these role players, they just slowly come along, get coached up, and work themselves into a spot where it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
we got the young legs in there. Let's go. I like Jaden Hicks going over 3.5 made tackles here.
I love it.
You can't say that that's not going to happen. So I like that a lot, Andy.
So, all right, well, let's get into the main event here. Currently, we have Kansas City Chiefs as a 1.5-point favorite. Yes, this line has moved a little bit, but it has really settled down at that 1.5 as of late. It's really hard to go against the Chiefs, even though I believe if you go player for player, spot for spot, Philadelphia might have the better roster.
Yeah, I mean that's where you got to start at is should the Chiefs actually be favored in this game, and I don't think so. On paper, Philadelphia has a better game, a better team. They've looked dominant in their in their playoff wins, especially last week in the NFC Championship. Maybe against maybe a little bit of a lesser or a Cinderella story than Josh Allen and the Bills, obviously for Mahomes, but I think this is going to be a really good game, obviously, but I think Philadelphia's ground game is going to control the pace of this game. Eagles' defense, I think, are going to be able to generate stops every once in a while, and, man, is this really tugging at me. I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
Wow.
I think the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
So do you like that money line bet then?
Yes.
Give it up. Don't worry about the point and a half.
If you're doing anything with the way that I'm looking at this is like you got to try and maximize your guys' chance to win money.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to blow anybody out in this game. That's why you got to look at props and you got to look at margin of victory stuff on your books that you're going to bet at. Because Chiefs by 1 to 6 points is at a plus 240 right now. That should be your bet if you're going to bet the Kansas City Chiefs. 1 to 6 points plus 240. You flip that on the Eagles, 1 to 6 points plus 250. That is going to be my bet for the Super Bowl. The Eagles win by 1 to 6 points for a plus 250 bet.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to really talk too much smack on, and I like the money line at like a plus 100 for the Eagles if I'm going that way.
Yeah.
Jeremy, where are you at?
Even though it's the Super Bowl, even though you kind of throw away a lot of the stuff that's happened throughout the season, I like to look at the trends. I like to look at the data, and when I'm looking at 1.5 towards Kansas City. Working against the spread, the Eagles have been 13-7 throughout the entire season against the spread versus Kansas City, who's 9-10.
Right.
I love that half point.
They don't
cover. I love that half point. And I'm going to live on that half point and say that the Eagles are going to cover. I don't know that it's going to go that way, right? Like the Chiefs have just been magical this year. I like the Eagles to cover it just because that's what the data shows me. Man, it's just been an odd year.
Right. It's odd to say, but the Chiefs have been underwhelming, but they've only lost 2 games.
Right.
And one they forfeited.
Yeah.
They've only lost 1 game to the Buffalo Bills, and
100%.
that's the only time that everybody played and they were trying to win the game.
All right, well, let's get into this total because that really hasn't moved much at all. It opened up at 49.5, has been bet down to 48.5. I've heard a lot of pundits and guys and this and that going on both ways here. I do want to throw one thing out there, something to chew on here. The Philadelphia Eagles have only had A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, and Devontae Smith for 6 games this year.
Yeah.
When they have those 3 on the field, they've scored 33 points or more.
Yeah.
So all 3 of those guys are out there. We've seen a pretty good run here as of late from Goddard. A.J. Brown's been up and down, you could say, these playoffs, but this is the Super Bowl, 2 weeks off, all those things. I'll go out there. I like the over.
I'm glad you said that. I love the over, especially looking at the past of how high scoring the Super Bowl was in 2023. I believe a lot of the same key components are there. I believe this is going to be run up the score. Somebody wins by 3 at the end. I just believe it's going to be flipped this time, but the over is the play to. I think it's the play to go.
So you guys both like the over. I'm going to be the redhead stepchild. I'm going to take the under. The data shows me that both teams have hit the over less than 50% throughout the season.
Sure.
The last 5 out of last 6 Super Bowls have hit the under. The only outlier, again, Kansas City versus Philly.
These 2 teams.
This is going to be a really close game. I like the under.
The Chiefs, as a season average, they're right there at about 24 points per game. And they've only eclipsed 30 points 3 times this season. Now you're facing, in a lot of regards, the number 1 overall defense in the NFL and the Eagles. So, I go back and forth on this total. The line is so sharp, and you see that because there wasn't much movement. Yep. And you could see multiple paths to hitting the under.
Yeah.
Also, slow start, whatever the case may be, players don't make plays. Or we talked about in that very opening segment where, like, Andy Reid will just feel you out for 3 quarters and then just turn it on in the fourth.
Out.
Yeah, so then but even if the Chiefs do that, they can still get the over.
No doubt about it.
They can just pile on the points so fast.
It's really the over really depends on the Eagles scoring points because the Chiefs will have to turn it up faster and keep pace with them.
Yep. So, okay, we got an under. We got 2 overs here. Anything tricky, anything kind of zany? I think we just overall winner, you have the Eagles. Why?
Yeah, I just believe that running game is going to control the game. I believe that they're going to load up against them. I don't think it matters. I believe the Philadelphia Eagles are the better team here. I believe they win late. Do not leave any time on the clock, because if you do, Mahomes is going to figure out how to do it. So do not leave any time on the clock. I believe they're going to run it out. I really like those margin of victory bets. If you're out there, look on your sports book for margin of victory. Either way that you are, you're getting so much more value for those bets when you go Chiefs by 1 to 6 points or Eagles by 1 to 6 points. That's what it's going to be. One of these teams is going to win by a slight margin.
Yeah, this is going to be a close game, and that's great. It's great for the audience, and it's great for both teams. It just shows kind of the level of talent there. But I like the Eagles to cover it. Like I said, I like the Chiefs to probably win it because I think it's going to be an all-time night.
You are really threading the needle there.
Yeah, this is it's going to be an all-time night for Travis Kelce. I mean, I think Travis Kelce is going to be the MVP of the game.
Woo!
And which is going to give him, like 16-1, 18-1 odds there. Yep. That will give him the platform to be able to do what we think will happen. What some of us do is the proposal to Miss Swift. So I do think that it's going to be a big night for him.
Yeah, and I'll kind of back that a little bit. Maybe not as big time, but I do think the Chiefs get the victory here. And no matter what you do, you always leave enough time on for Mahomes for whatever reasons. Go back to that AFC Championship game. 13 seconds. Just crazy what you're able to do, or what the Chiefs have been able to do on this run. And that's where I see the hugest edge here, the coaching edge and the quarterback edge. It's not a knock against Jalen Hurts too. Like, just settle down, Philly fans. Yeah. We're talking about Patrick Mahomes here,
maybe the greatest player of all time,
right?
And Andy Reid, maybe the greatest
coach of all time. So I just think that's a huge slant. And do the Chiefs get calls? Will they get a call here and there?
I haven't seen them get one yet.
You add it all up, in the football gods, I think they're on the side of the Chiefs. So give me the Chiefs, and I like the 1.5. They're going to cover that.
Heck yeah! Either way you go, I love it. Either way, this is going to be one of the best Super Bowls, I believe, in recent memory, if not just like the one that they played before.
Alrighty, Parlay Pounder.
That's it. That's it.
You just had the parlay.
I gave it. I had the Underdog one. That's it.
The prop.
But make sure you look at those margin of victory. That is my hugest value of the entire Super Bowl. Those plus 250, plus 260 bets right now, 1 to 6. Look at those if you're trying to make some money on the Super Bowl.
All right. Well, that'll about do it for us this week in our Super Bowl extravaganza. Would you call it that?
Yeah,
I think 100%, so. I think so.
We
Jeremy,
threw a lot at him.
Thanks again for joining the old program.
Thanks for having me. This was awesome.
Of course.
You betcha. For Jeremy, JaBron, my name's Andy Classen. This has been Where's the Line, WTL.